Hello and welcome to the Current Money channel. I'm Solomon Russell. I'm an energy master supporting clients who are ready, willing and able to take responsibility for the reality they are creating and start to manifest their true potential. I do this through identity transformation sessions online, in-person ayahuasca ceremonies and conscious adventures here in Peru, all of which you can learn about on my website, kurinmoney.com. But I'm very excited to welcome today my guest, who is Wealth Consciousness Mentor Julie Cloutier. Julie's passion is to support leaders, visionaries, and creators to embody effortless prosperity, enabling them to be highly paid for doing what they love.
Yeah.
Now, I can tell you from personal experience that Julie is extraordinarily gifted at what she does. Julie has, in fact, been my own personal mentor and holds a very special place in my path of growth. And I'd say it's no exaggeration to say that Julie was the final missing piece in my own evolution to put behind me a 30-year journey of healing and seeking. And together we ended my search to be anything other than what I am, right here, right now, sovereign, abundant, and ready to say yes to life. So welcome, Julie.
Oh, thank you. My heart is swelling with love and happiness, and I'm so glad I could be an instrument in your transformation, and you are the one who did it. So I'm really, really
Yeah,
happy for you. Thank
yeah.
you. Thank you.
Cool.
I'm
How are
so happy
you?
to be here. I'm good. Yes, good, good.
Great, great. So we'll see how this flows, but I've got a few questions lined up for you. Firstly, from my experience, I know that you embody abundance, wealth consciousness, self-trust, badass conviction, play and joy. But I know it wasn't always that way for you. So what made it possible for you personally to leave behind victim consciousness and choose better for yourself? What is it that most of the human race is not understanding?
Wow, that's really a good question. I realized that at some point in my life, I thought I was not in victim consciousness. I genuinely believed that I was not. And yet I was still suffering that the idea that my partner was in victim consciousness, but I was not. And that was like a huge blind spot because I was the victim of that
Mm,
without seeing it. And I was victimizing myself, being a victim of that by saying, I am not in that. But in
yeah.
fact, I could not see that I was.
Mhm.
And what made a big difference for me is at some point in my life, as I was shifting some belief about money, I had more and more money came in my life, but I still felt it was not enough. And there was more, and I was feeling more lack. And there was more, and I was feeling more lack. And I had everything one could dream for: a really nice home, a long lasting, intimate relationship that has been very transformational, a dog that's dear to my heart. She's right here. Security, safety, abundance, abundance of money. Even my job was quite good. It was not in my purpose. So I felt it was serving my growth, but it was not my true joy. But still, it was a good position. I was working with people that are heart-centered, that wanted my growth because that was what I had so desire to receive. And yet I was still feeling lack. And then I asked myself, what's wrong? And I
Mhm.
went on a quest of finding an answer because this is not normal. It felt kind of out of place. And why am I receiving love from my partner and always questioning if it's enough? If he's loving, could he love me more? And I started to ask myself, really, like, there's something here that doesn't feel right because everything seemed right and I don't feel right. And that's when something brought me to intuitively find answer, find my way to books and teaching. And then there was this moment where I saw, oh, I'm not my thought. I was always so merged with my thought. I thought I was my thought. And then there was a distance in between the awareness and the thought. I was like, I cannot be both that which is aware of it and it. And then I started to see more and more my blind spot. And I made a vow to see everything. Show me everything. I'm ready. I want to see everything. And then why am I triggered? What does it mean about me? Why do I make why do I make this about myself, my personal me? And I realized that there was one thing in the middle of every problem. There was always a me there.
Mm-hmm.
And I was like, who is that me? Why is that me always in the middle of the problem?
Mm-hmm.
And so I started to see like everything is on the first baseline, not personal. And when I personalize it, I feel a sense of being separate. And
Mm-hmm.
that's where it started. That's how I got out of it, is by realizing I did everything I was supposed to do. I worked hard. Like I was never really working really hard because I never really bought into that. But I did everything I'm supposed to do. Why is it not still satisfying? And I felt there was something really wrong with me, because I could see people seem okay with it. Most people
Mm-hmm.
seem okay with going to ski, and I couldn't do anything else. I was like, nothing will satisfy me, and there must be something wrong with me, until I found my way to, we could say, like a non-dual realization, and then the
Mm-hmm.
integration of that realization, which is the work of seeing the blind spot. And
Yeah, yeah.
yeah,
It's extraordinarily simple, because this was one of the, probably the fundamental thing which I had been 30 years kind of looking for. And you kind of helped me turn the key, right? It's like, you're not your
yeah,
thoughts, or rather you just like, oh, I think this, and therefore, of course,
yeah,
um, if I believe this about myself, then, and
I
it's not a good
experienced that.
thing, then I experience that. So,
Yeah,
yeah, and that led to, yeah, that was just to question one's thoughts. I'd spent many years questioning, thinking I was a bit, maybe a bit like what you were saying earlier about you were not a victim, but your partner was. You think you've got it, or you think that you're.
yeah, I thought I got
Um,
it.
and I thought I was questioning my thoughts until I really, but it was kind of like I was judging my thoughts and taking them
Mm,
personally and taking them seriously. And then at a certain point, yeah, that little gap, which is all you need.
yeah,
I think to wake up is when you see, even for a split second, kind of
even for a split second.
the balloon of self-identity and identification with the self kind of is punctured. So even seeing for a split second that you're not your thoughts, that you are the awareness itself, that punctures the balloon of ego, right?
It
Of
deflates it.
self-identity. And so even if you see it for a second, it's a done deal. It kind of has to deflate, because the balloon
Yes.
is popped.
Yes, you cannot put, like, I say this image often, you cannot put everything back in the box.
Yeah,
The
yeah.
box has been opened and you're like, oh, it's just a matter of time.
Mhm.
But it also requires some, in my perspective, because I was like hit by a lot of invitation in suffering after. And everything came to the surface. And even before I realized, there was a lot that was coming on the surface, a lot of the subconscious distress and feeling overwhelmed and distress. And it was really, really intense. And the mind was kind of going overdrive. I need to figure it out. I need to figure it out. And so then after, there was like a will. I had to, like, had this, I want to see everything. I'm done. Like, I'm done. This
Yeah,
divine will.
yeah, 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 yeah. Kind of warrior energy,
Yeah.
where the awakening is not just love and light. It's
Yeah. Yeah, why
It
am I
kind of,
still doing this? Why am I still rejecting the love when it comes? Why am I
yeah,
still overgiving? Why am I still doing things I don't enjoy? Why would I ever do that? You know?
yeah, yeah, yeah. Um, so I came to you, I think, because in my life I was perhaps feeling on one level a scarcity of love. But your work uh, is that, but it's particularly focused around money. And I came to realize that they're completely linked.
Yes, same,
But,
same.
many people, the collective, a fairly big program in the collective consciousness is that money is the root of all evil, right? They call it filthy lucre, right? It
Mm-hmm.
can be elusive, dirty, corrupting, and quite often the source of problems, right? Whether you
Mm-hmm.
don't have enough
Inequality.
or whether you have
Mm-hmm.
too much.
Mm-hmm.
But you use it as a spiritual tool. Can you explain how that works?
Yeah. In my perception now, and it's still evolving and growing, I found that our blocks to receiving love are the same blocks to receiving money. Because in my perception, money is a token of appreciation. It's a thank you. If I pay someone, I say thank you. And when I pay, I now feel a lot of gratitude to pay. And when someone pays me, I receive with gratitude. But the channel is open. The channel to give and receive, it's the same channel. That's my perception. And my perception is that our nervous system is when it's contracted by, like our human experience. We've been hit by this and that, and it kind of made some energetic contraction in our nervous system. My perception is that our nervous system close even before we know what thought and belief made it close. And I also know myself to have been living most of my life with a contraction of a nervous system that is protecting myself, protecting myself. They're telling me they love me, they want something. Something's
Yes.
not right. Like they're going to take advantage of me, or all these mechanisms that I could not receive love. So even when my partner was showing me love, I would pick a fight. Because
Mm,
when it get to be too much for my nervous system, I had to reject it. So I would unconsciously pick a fight so that we fall back into this dense, unloving relationship. And I could see myself doing it. I was like, what the hell am I doing here? Why? Because now I know I want to receive love. I'm open to receive it. And I see myself rejecting it.
mhm.
And my perception is that there's a habit in our nervous system that it can hold and contain and receive a certain amount. And then when it gets too good, we hurt ourselves, we lose money, we do like a compulsive expense. We have to reject it from our field because our container is too small. So now I see it all the same thing: purpose, love, money, gratitude. And how can I circulate it
Yeah,
with
yeah.
ease?
Yeah, I feel in our mentorship, and I often, well, I don't have to remind myself anymore. It just comes back. But it is such a, to receive and step into your power is such a, I don't want to say work, but it kind of is. It's kind of more like being conscious, but it's about expanding your nervous system
Yeah.
and also courage, because a lot of people might say, oh, I want money, I want lots of money, why isn't it coming to me? And they might demonize it as well, but quite often it's because it does take courage to more
Mhm.
money, to
It's
show up,
boundary.
yeah, to show up, to take your space, to put your head above the parapet. So more and more now, you know rich people, it's not a direct, what's the word, correlation that
No.
rich people are somehow better. Uh, but if you've been in scarcity consciousness and kept yourself small, and money is such a well, it's the universal symbol that you can explore that through the universal reflection to actually it's actually very spiritual to earn more money because it's
Yeah.
you stepping into your power and facing
Serving.
the fear of,
Yeah.
you know, can I do
Yeah.
this? Am I offering
Yeah.
value?
Yeah.
Guilt, fear. So
Yeah.
to actually earn a lot of money is more energy. And so you have to kind of be willing to upgrade your nervous system to expand. So it's kind of a
Yeah.
choice, you know.
Yes.
Um,
Yes.
and, you know, in my case, it was probably taught to me that it's sort of, you get a big ego or you're arrogant if you know, look at all these people with all this money. And it's not like that really.
We separate from it when we say that. It's them
Yeah,
versus me.
yeah.
And I find it takes humility, responsibility, self-honesty, and authenticity
Mhm.
to receive it cleanly and offer your value. And it's pushed like it's like it's a granular aspect of abundance, in fact, because I love talking about money. It's a granular aspect of it. It holds a lot of our belief. Like there's a lot of our belief in it, in the collective, and it shows us our belief. But ultimately, we're looking for the whole thing:
Yeah,
abundance, abundance of being myself, feeling safe, feeling in the natural state of being, feeling empowered, and not power over other, but in my power, in my sense of power, and feeling connected. But I love exploring the granular aspect of money because I feel it's often left out of the conversation. And why would we exclude it? Because nothing is excluded.
yeah, yeah.
So it's kind of, oh, it's not the same. But money, it's neutral. It has no mind.
Yes, yeah, yeah.
It's a tool.
And it's also kind of where the rubber hits the road because, particularly in my experience, spending many years kind of in isolation, you know, with my practices and discipline being on my own, where it's very easy for things to remain in the ether or kind of as just ideas. But when you kind of can use money as a way to actually, as an expression of yourself, then it actually becomes real. And
Mm,
this sort of leads me on to the next kind of theme, which is you've just published a new book, uh, The Belief Detox.
yeah.
Uh, Stop Believing and Start Living.
Yeah.
Now, that title is very similar to my own website, probably
Yes.
not by chance because we've worked a lot together,
Yeah, you've
which is
been a positive influence on myself with that.
which is Calling Money, Stop
Stop
Healing
healing.
and
Healing is an
Start Living.
identity, right?
Right. So
I
healing
am
itself
healing.
is a belief, you know,
Yes.
the belief that
It's
there's a
an
need to heal.
identity. I am
Yeah.
healing myself.
So whether we say stop believing or stop healing, we're talking about exactly the same thing.
Yes.
So, and this comes for me back to the what underpins any of this work on money or your whole self-concept. What do the beliefs one has about oneself have to do with the work or the journey of realizing and actualizing one's own sovereignty, abundance, and fulfillment?
Anytime we refer to the outside to know our value is where we limit ourselves. Anytime, in my perception, anytime I need the proof of my value, I'm shrinking.
Mm.
And if I don't need the proof, then I can play not, I'm not playing not to lose.
Yes.
I play. I play in
Mhm.
life. If I don't receive the proof, I'm safe. Then it's possible to, when I say I play, I explore myself, I trust myself, I trust to be the best that I can be, and every day to be better. The best of me is enough. So, what does that have to do? I think that's the answer. It's anytime I am still looking on the outside to see if I'm doing the right thing, instead of looking within me and knowing in my inner guidance if my energy is clean, is my heart pure, am I able to still um, see my blind spot if I'm shown my blind spot? Am I able to continue to grow and expand? I think that's all kind of there.
Yeah, yeah. And what would you say is the fundamental way or ways in which one comes to find have that self-trust, that sense of safety? Because, you know, in the spiritual world, everyone's talks about it
Yeah.
and likes to think that, but I feel it's like
Yeah.
it's a nice idea. Whereas in your case, I know, and more in my case, it's a knowing, right? It's but how would you say one gets to that
It's okay. I
that
would
self-trust,
say
that safety
yes.
from which where you can move from there
Yeah.
in order that you don't have to reference the outside all the time? What do you think? What's the kind of key?
I think there's a few key we could expose. One of the key is aligning with infinite intelligence. And the difference to me, the finite intelligence is an intelligence that is where there's an absence of love. It's dry. It's good, bad, yes, no. Finite. It's finite. It doesn't have the it doesn't have the component of love. So it's a lot of should, must, and have to. And it contains a lot of I should do this to get that. I
Mhm.
must do this if I want that. I have to do this to get this. There's this
Linear,
compromise.
cause and effect, linear.
Yes.
Yeah.
If I switch to infinite intelligence, it has the component of ease, enjoyment, and it's not linked to doing something to get something. And it's a higher intelligence that can lead us in our greatest purpose. So when in my business, if I have an offer, someone sends me an email, we would like to interview you and do this and do that. And I have had this experience where I started the process and it became heavy. Oh, we need you to fill this. We need you to send this. And I was like, no, I'm out. It, why would I do that? I trust the guidance of ease and enjoyment. And when I do things that I enjoy, this is where life brings me by resonance exactly the right client without me doing anything, just by following my heart. So one could say, like, if I trust more and more that, and I see, and then the proof appear, and then I'm like, oh, oh, okay. And then there is more and more trust. So I would say trust grows as we test drive it.
Yes. Yeah.
If I don't test drive, it
Mm.
gets to be just an intellectual knowing.
Yeah.
And it's
Yeah.
sometimes scary to test drive because we've been so conditioned to work in the other manner. If I
Hmm.
do nothing, nothing will happen. It's not
Yeah.
about doing nothing, it's about doing less, being more. And then aligning to that, I would say someone could grow trust in themselves. I trust my inner guidance to
Yeah.
distract from what. So that would be one way. The other way would be to know that your intuition, everyone has intuition, and from your intuition, no one can tell you what to do because no one has the link you have with infinite intelligence. Your link with infinite intelligence is direct, it's
Mhm.
yours unique link. So if you, I cannot tell you you should do this or you should do that because only you know intuitively what you should do. And if one start to trust their intuition, then they start to trust themselves more. And I often say, oh, when someone come to my work, you have such a great intuition because you are here. You can trust it. Once you get to that point, you can trust your intuition. The proof is
Yeah.
is already
yeah.
there.
Well, this brings me back to perhaps one of the blocks to that is, and which I was able to but to give up in my mentoring experience with you was people might feel they can't, they might trust their intuition, but they can't follow it because they're not allowed to put themselves first, right? We're
Mm,
programmed collectively, and in some cases more strongly than others, that you have to look after everyone else first. And it's the opposite of that. You know, you can only ultimately look after other people if that's your path once you've nourished yourself. And
yes.
so one of the things that came through in my time with you was also permission. You know, it's okay. First of all, it's okay to follow your guidance, and you don't have to make yourself small to fit in. You can trust yourself. In fact, you can only trust yourself. So I think there's a little bit of not work, but an understanding that it's, you know, I think in some cases mentoring can be really getting deep into things and uncovering really deep beliefs which are limiting you. But also in some cases it can be like just a tweak. It's like
Yeah.
you've been living your whole life
Yeah.
believing that you need to put others first, and it's wrong. It's selfish. It's
Yeah.
arrogant
Yeah. Yeah.
to.
It's your duty
But
to
yeah,
put yourself first.
it's actually your duty. Yes. Yeah.
And I find a link with the fear of lack and a link with I choose, because at some point it's a decision I find to choose to value myself, to choose that I am worthy of a life that is easy, and also like with the realization, because if we all are the expression of the infinite being, you have to self-respect the infinite being.
Mm. Hmm.
And with the mind, we always are last in the queue.
Yes. Yeah.
So it's like the inversion, and we hear it often, like it's um, lofty words like put your oxygen mask first before helping others. But when you really live it, you
Hmm.
have to attune with, if I'm not feeling good, if I'm not feeling excited, I have to adjust the
Yeah.
offer, the price, the time I put in. I have to make adjustment. It's my duty, because if not, then I'm lying.
Yeah.
I'm
Yeah.
showing up by codependency and I don't want to be there. And it's not, I
Yeah.
take the place of someone else
Yeah.
for whom the role would be a better fit.
Yeah. 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 It's a choice, and it does take some courage, right? But it's not effort, it's choice.
Yes.
And yeah,
Yes. And it's
because
not a one and done deal, right? It's like
yeah,
finding out as I go. I
yeah,
love this. I integrate as I go.
yeah,
That's what I really like. I have a passion for is realization is one thing, but if we need to sit on a meditation cushion to feel good, if we need the awakening to have a certain surrounding, then that's my problem. If I need my awakening
mm,
to have a certain people around me, a certain circumstance, a certain this and a certain that to feel good, then that's my problem. I'd rather walk in my life and see where I'm not free.
yeah, yeah. And what you just described is totally conditioned, right? It's and awakening is unconditional. So
Yeah,
if you
unconditional.
need it to be a certain way, that's what's keeping you
It's
stuck.
still not
It's
free.
just it's just this.
Yeah,
And then that
yeah,
comes back to the start living. It's like life is the
live.
teacher. It's like, you know, in my personal case, you know, I used spirituality for a long time unconsciously, but as a way to avoid life. And
Life
life
is
is it.
spiritual.
Because
Life
there's
is
only the
it. It's
yeah,
delicious, right? It's like
yeah,
everything is spiritual.
yeah, 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 yeah. Um, so one other thing I was hoping there's a few other things, but one thing which, you know, I find your communication is really clear around this topic, and getting clearer and clearer. It's about what I experienced when I jumped in a high ticket container with you. And full disclosure for anyone watching, that I initially paid Julie $10,000 for a month, which to the mind is like, could be, I mean, unless you're a millionaire,
Outrageous, right?
outrageous, right? Um, and money is a very sensitive topic. So for as long as one is still kind of stuck in the scarcity mindset and protection, wondering what they'll get out of something, and is it good value, and are they being taken, are they
Advantage
being
of.
conned, taken advantage
Yeah.
of? So I understand why it could be extremely difficult for a lot of people to even think about the idea of risking investing heavily in themselves in the form of a high ticket mentorship in the way that I did.
Mm-hmm.
So I was looking to sort of shift my perception of reality, right? To find out what it was, a bit like you, that like, what's wrong? It's like when you look at
Yeah.
it, there's nothing wrong, and yet there
Yeah.
still seems to be something missing. And I'm a master in plant medicine ayahuasca, so in terms of shifting reality, I've done that 10,000% compared to the kind of average person in the collective.
Yeah.
But um,
The one who pays is the one who's ready.
yeah, okay. So that kind of brings me, so coming to the question, it's like, so I paid $10,000, and probably not as much as a lot of people. I kind of knew. So I had I don't know, even a trust that I didn't even know I had. It felt right.
Mm-hmm.
But you said to me in, I think, the first 3 minutes of our mentorship, you said, we could sit here sipping cocktails for the next month. You paid, it's done.
Done. Yeah.
And, someone hearing that might think, yeah, right, you're being kind of,
Yeah.
but it's completely true.
Yeah.
It shifted everything. And you think, like, you can't buy awakening, you can't buy growth.
No, that's not what I'm selling.
And so that's what it appears to be. But
Uh-huh.
kind of, yes, you can, but it's not. But as you say, it's not, you're not buying it, but it's like, can you kind of encapsulate what it is
Yeah.
to explain that mechanism of how valuing yourself, and valuing
Yeah.
yourself like turbocharged in this
Yes.
case,
Yes.
shifts things?
Okay, there's a few things I could say. I could start with my own direct experience of doing it for myself,
Yes, because I know you did it
because I
yourself.
could not ever, I would not be able to offer it if I've not experienced it. And in my experience, when I took this jump of a high ticket mentorship with someone whom I chose, because I would say like I want what she's having. It's the energy that I like. I'm seeing something in you that is not activated in myself, and I'm done with trying to fit in being small. And so what that does, I find it's like we're all conditioned to do what is appropriate. Many people with whom I work are tired of doing the appropriate thing. And I would say, what is the inverse of appropriate? I think it's outrageous. And when I choose to do something like that, one thing will happen: the subconscious will come to the surface because it's a big step outside of the comfort zone. It's something that is not usual. Because I could tell you, go to the grocery store, and I heard this analogy before, and wear underwear on your head and walk in the grocery store without doing anything, without letting people in on a joke, just being your normal self, and see what the mind will say. about it. But this type of jump is the same thing. The mind is like, I remember feeling, I'm gonna become dependent. She's gonna take advantage of me. And I was hearing the voice as I was paying.
Hmm.
And I took the jump anyway. And by doing that, is that I shifted my identity. It's not something that I now feel I could do. It's something I did. It's very different. I
Yeah.
didn't realize at the time, but I chose to be bold, audacious, courageous. I'm jumping in. I don't know what's going to happen. And it's outrageous. And I'm doing it. But it has a value that is, it cannot be found. Like you could spend $10,000 in five-star hotel and going on a cruise ship, and it's going to be fun. But it's not going to be as highly transformational as this type of investment. When you work with someone who has what you want energetically. And I
Yeah.
was there. I was like, ah, love and light. I'm angry. Oh, I can't do this anymore. I'm so done. And I wanted to upgrade my price for my service, but my nervous system, I could not do it by myself. I needed the nervous system of the other to hold it for me while I was doing it.
Yeah.
So I borrowed the energy, kind of, or I paid for it. And then I was given the energy. You can do it. Do it. I'm there with you all the way. I'm here. We meet next week. Do it. And I
Yeah.
could feel like I'm ashamed. I'm charging more. It's really shameful. But now it's normal. My nervous system is
Yeah.
habituated. It
Yeah.
doesn't feel outrageous. And but I
Yeah.
am in my purpose and I serve. And one other thing too is when you meet someone who's dissolved guilt in their system, it's very powerful.
Yes. Yeah.
It's just it's not even something I do personally. I cannot take any credit. The energy is not personal.
Yeah.
It's just a transmission. And and yeah. So and then it's a choice. It's not something that people should be ashamed of not doing. It's not done, it's not sold with shame. And that's how I found my way to at some point follow my intuition when I was part of organization and I was aligning with them. If I saw shaming, energy, demanding, ugh, my intuition, like, no, I want to operate under my banner.
Yeah.
And
Yeah.
under my banner, I don't, well, I don't. I consciously am aware of not shaming people for not doing things. Whatever feels right to you is fine. I don't need it.
This comes back to what you're talking about with intuition, following your intuition. Because, yeah, if it's right, you will know.
Yeah,
And then there's just the question of, am I ready to jump in? Do I have the courage? And
yeah,
the person, a good mentor, is not going to explain or persuade, because it's your
no,
choice. It's fully
yeah,
your choice.
yeah.
And they can't explain or persuade because you
Ben
have
no,
to do it.
yeah.
There's
It's not
no,
something you can convince people of anyway.
yeah, yeah. Um, yeah, it's very powerful. And, provided, and it also, it's always coming back to yourself, because, you know, someone who chooses a bad mentor and is kind of conned, taken advantage of, they're already taking advantage of themselves. They've agreed to it. They're looking for it unconsciously, I'm sure, but because it wouldn't make sense if you were conscious to choose someone who is not going to help you. So it's kind of, for me, it's sort of a little bit like all questions and concerns fall away, because it's natural and what needs to happen. And
Mm-hmm.
you're,
Yeah, it's a big discussion in the spiritual circle as well.
yeah. And so,
Yeah.
the
I feel
process,
though that as a mentor, I feel that one thing I think I want to integrate more in my practice is to receive the feedback, to so that if something did not feel right, or if something, like, to bring really a clear communication about, I think I could integrate more of that in my practice, and it would be nice for other people or the mentor to integrate that in their practice, even though, like, it's still just a mirror. But yeah, I find, like, receiving the feedback, good or bad, there's always room to grow and expand.
Yeah,
So I
yeah,
find that that's also something we can include.
yeah, yeah. Well, because a mentor, as much as the client, is integrating as they go, right?
Yes, yes,
No
yes.
one, no
It's
one, you know,
it's an
you,
expansion for the mentor as well. It's like, I'm doing this. I'm jumping in.
yeah, 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 yeah.
It's
And
a
and
co-creation.
and just to kind of close the thing on paying a lot of money, it's like I felt very quickly that it's like I'm making money of I'm allowing money to circulate. It's not actually mine. It's just allowing
Yeah.
more potential. This is energy. Yes, it's neutral, but it's energy, right? You know.
Yes.
So this now flows, and that creates space, and it's a
To receive.
turbocharger. You know.
And to receive, because the stagnancy of the energy is the contraction, is the hoarding,
Yeah, yeah,
and allow ourselves to give ourselves and receive. Same
yeah,
channel. So we're
yeah,
back at the beginning of the conversation. It's a
yeah,
channel that we are
yeah.
opening.
And it's like a rocket fuel as well, because I spent 10 years in psychoanalysis and I spent a colossal amount of money, right? 10 years, 5 sessions a week.
Yeah, me too. I
I,
do.
I think in the end, I spent close to $250,000 on psychoanalysis. But I was drip feeding. I was also in a much lower consciousness then. I mean, of course, it's
Yeah.
20 years
It's
ago,
like, yeah, yeah,
but I was drip feeding. So it never really had, and it was fine because that's not what was meant to happen on
yeah,
my journey at that
yeah,
point. But it was
yeah,
kind of just slowly
yeah,
drip, drip, drip. Whereas with you, it's like, let's fucking
yeah.
go.
That's why I say it's a shortcut, right? It's like, yeah, it's a one swoop, but it's not gonna take 2 years.
Yeah, yeah, yeah,
And it comes with realization also of our true nature, and
yeah,
and being
yeah,
willing to see everything, and it's yeah,
yeah.
it
Well,
needs support.
it's interesting what I say about realization of your true nature, because in spiritual non-dual circles, that's kind of the big thing everyone's looking for, that I was looking for.
Uh-huh.
Um,
The realization that it's already here.
yeah, it's the complete trick. It's just here.
The
So
little
it's
domino
not
piece.
like what I found was, it wasn't like I have this great angelic
Yeah,
moment of enlightenment. You know,
yeah,
it's just all of a
yeah.
sudden I realized, oh, of course,
Oh.
it's
Mm.
so ridiculous. It's too easy.
It's hidden on plate side. It's the last
Um,
domino. Tuk.
yeah, but it wasn't like I got that sorted and now I can do this abundance work with Julie. It's like, no,
Mm.
it's all happening. If it's ready to happen, it's like I was thinking the other day, the only thing more miraculous than waking up is that no one's waking up.
Yeah, no one is waking up.
Why
That's the
aren't people like,
miracle.
it's the miracle that it's
There's a
not
miracle.
it's a
Yeah.
miracle that it's not seen, because it's so
Yeah.
awesomely ordinary.
Yeah.
It's kind of anyway.
Yeah.
Um, just wanted while we've got a few more minutes, I just wanted to, because I know this is something I think it's quite an important distinction to make for anyone who's interested in this topic. But what's the secret of manifestation, and why do so many people get the law of attraction wrong? What's
Mm. Mm. Mm.
And I'm kind of thinking here
Yeah.
about
Okay.
why affirmations
Don't
alone
work.
don't work. Yeah.
Yeah, that's so, so interesting. I used to be someone who was trying to manifest. So I wanted things and I was trying. The problem with that is that the way I see it is that when our body is not open, we cannot receive it. If I make affirmation and I'm not even connected to my body, I cannot even know if my body is open or closed. If I've never came across and feeling in my body if something feels true or not true. I could affirm all day long, I am abundant, but my body will say, no, you're not. And I have proof that I am not. If I want to manifest I am abundant, it's usually because I am not. Because otherwise, if I'm abundant, I don't want to manifest that. I already have that.
Mhm.
And the manifestation, how it worked for me, is when I was in joy. When how I manifested my business, in fact, is through seeing it in my mind, seeing myself, sitting at the computer and having people come in my group. And I remember I was scared when I was visualizing that. It was bigger than what I'm used to. And as I was seeing it, I was seeing myself. I was looking through my eyes and I was seeing the people there and I was feeling joy. At first I was feeling scared and then I was feeling joy and then I was feeling it's for the benefit of everyone involved. So the frequency of creation for me is like is the love of the thing, is the joy of the thing. It's more emotionalizing the thing than affirming it. And so
Yeah.
when I was a runner, I wanted to manifest being an ambassador for a clothing company. But I was not running to get that. I was basking in the joy of how fun would that be? And it came and I was amazed. I was like, wow, even better than I thought. Even better than I could imagine. But I was not trying. I was basking in the feeling of it. I was enjoying it. When I chose to do mountain bike with my dog, I could see myself do it. I love it. I love doing it. So when I was doing it, I was like, that's the picture. That's the
Mhm.
picture I had in my mind. So I could see we can create. But when people go wrong, I find it's that their nervous system and their belief is saying, no, it's not possible for you. So if I don't look at the background, the voice that says, you're never going to get there, you have to work harder, you have to bring more value, you're not so good at this, you're really slow, all that noise behind the scene. If I affirm something and my body says, no, 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 it's not safe. I may want a lot of client, but if I cannot say no, my calendar will be over, I will be overwhelmed. Like the balance of boundary as well. So it's kind of an art
Yeah. Yeah.
and a
I, I think
science.
I think it's also getting really clear
Getting
when it's
clear.
when it's positive thinking,
Ah,
because positive thinking is no better than being stuck in a negative spiral. Well, I mean, in
no.
terms of your life, it's probably better to be,
You should
you
be
know,
positive. You should be more
periodically a bit
positive. What's
positive
wrong with
than,
you?
yeah. I mean, it's better than wallowing in self-pity, but ultimately it can't work if you don't actually believe it about yourself. So, as you say, it's
Yeah.
about knowing it to be true and getting to a point where you don't. It's the
You
paradox.
don't need the proof. It's
When
fun.
yeah, you don't care. It doesn't matter, and then
It
it
doesn't
comes.
matter. Yeah.
And this is kind of the yeah. I mean, I don't know whether it's tricky, but it's where the mind comes in and gets people stuck. And I think even when you see it, you can still get a little bit stuck in that. The mind can always reel you back in.
And I
But
also see like more and more as I go in this direction that is my passion, I discover things within myself. I feel the conscious mind is the logic. So if I'm not abundant, it knows. It's gonna say you're not abundant. Look at your bank account. It's not true. The unconscious or the subconscious is the voice behind the scene that says like it's not for you. Look at them. They're better than you or things like that. It was never easy for you. And the unconscious is at an identity level it's in the body.
yeah,
It feels like it is me. It feels so true that it's not even seen as a belief. It's an identity.
Hmm.
And when it's in the body, it's unconscious. So I sometimes I work really directly with the body now more and more.
Yeah.
Drop the thought. Where is it in your body? Oh, my belly, my heart. Okay, now let's go to the sensation and breathe in the sensation, make it bigger, alchemize it, because the block, it's not conscious, it's not even subconscious, it's now unconscious.
Hmm. Okay.
So as
Yeah.
we open up the body, we feel safer and we can say no, and it goes with boundary as well, and then there's more power of manifestation, I find.
Yeah. It's so much about safety, and I also it is really interesting for me that I had all sorts of problems, right? Um, about certain, my version of having problems and being a victim, being powerless. And it's funny how following this work with you and sort of the somatic work, in some ways, they're like once it's cleared from your body, the same situations just don't trigger anything anymore. It's
That's
neutralized.
it. The body is
And in
open.
fact,
Yeah.
and because it's all a project, your reality is a projection of your belief, then if that
Yeah.
doesn't exist anymore, then those kinds of things don't even show up anymore. It's
No.
like as long as you're willing to, and
Yeah.
I say willing to
Unpack, open them. Like,
if you're willing to let go of giving it any importance whatsoever. But of course, it's so linked to the body because you can only really do that once you've cleared enough of it from your body.
it's like it hits
Yeah,
energies block. Like it hits something in you, in your
yeah,
energy field or your body field, and it's oh,
yeah,
I protect or I'm not. And then
yeah,
when it's opened up, but there's more safety. But it's if it's not balanced with boundary,
yeah,
it's really not balanced. It has to do with I can love more when I know that I don't have to.
yeah, 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 yeah. Well, I love your phrase. It's funny. About balancing, right? And you could say this is, if you want to call it balancing the sacred masculine, the sacred feminine, same thing. It's like be be open, be fully in receivership, the feminine, right? Childlike, innocent, playful, fun-loving, in joyful expectation. And set boundaries like a motherfucker.
Yeah. Yeah.
It's the whole package. Yeah.
Yeah.
But yeah, beautiful.
Uh,
Great. Well, I could talk to you for hours, of
Me
course, as
too.
always.
Yeah.
But we're coming sort of towards the end of time. So,
Thank you.
how can people reach you, find out about your work?
There will be a few links below.
Yeah,
And
well, yes,
one
yes,
of
yes.
them is the easiest way to know my work is it's a link I just give for podcast. It's a special link for podcast where people
Okay,
can enroll in an 8 week pre-recorded material about dissolving and revealing identity with money
okay,
and some potent work to do with that.
yeah,
It's
yeah,
a and it's the only we could say low entry price offer for anyone that is interested and curious and not really sure if they want to go deeper or take a
yeah.
higher jump. But it's a good starting point.
Okay,
That's the
great.
entry point. That would be the entry point. If someone is really ready, like ready right now to invest in themselves, then an email, I'm ready to invest, will do.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. And you also have
Yeah. And then
a
I meet because we need to know if we are in alignment, frequency alignment, and if it feels like
yeah,
a fuck yes
yeah,
for both
yeah.
party.
And you have a course as well, right?
Yeah, that's the one. That's the link.
Okay,
That's the special link for the podcast. It gives entry access to, oh, and yes, I have a course. Yes, I know what you're mentioning. That's, but the link will give them access to module one.
yeah,
And
okay,
if they feel like this is for me, then there is a possibility to enroll for 6 months and go through 4 module. And the 4 module, it's really just done in a way that works. The first module is uncover your subconscious belief. It's not the most fun, but I could say it's the most important. And then after it becomes easier and easier. And the second module is about emotional intelligence and dealing with all these emotions that are stirring up and having tools for that. And
Yeah.
then it gets
And
better and better. Self-design. What do I want to call in for myself? An embodiment. Embodiment, feeling it in your body, feeling the safety
yeah,
and the
yeah,
trust.
great. Okay, so yes, if you're
Hi.
interested in Julie's work, highly recommend it. What she just said, and of course, she has an amazing YouTube channel,
Thank
uh,
you.
and is online most days. Seems to be at the moment.
At the moment, it's still appear to be easy and effortless for me to go online. It's
Mhm.
cold here right now, though. I don't know
Yeah.
if I'm gonna be able to record in the winter time. We'll see. Yeah.
Great. Okay, thanks so much for
Thank
joining
you.
me today, Julie, and
Thank you. Thank you. It was
yeah,
really fun.
until the
Thank
next
you
time.
for the great question.
Great. Okay. Lots of love.
Bye.
See you soon.
Bye.
Bye.